What if the key to understanding Bitcoin doesn't lie in its ever-changing price, but in how it's actually made and verified? For many, Bitcoin is a mysterious entity, with its value seemingly fluctuating without reason. But what if the real story of Bitcoin isn't about its price, but about the mechanism that underpins it? Think of it like a car. You can look at its price and specs all day, but if you don't understand how the engine works, you'll never really get how it moves. And here's the surprising part. The way Bitcoin works is actually pretty simple, once you strip away the jargon. At its core, Bitcoin is a system for recording transactions, like a digital ledger. But unlike a traditional ledger, this one is maintained by a network of computers around the world, all working together to verify and validate transactions. And it's this process of verification that gives Bitcoin its value. So let's take a step back and look at how this process works and what it means for the value of Bitcoin. By understanding how Bitcoin is made and verified, we can gain a deeper insight into what drives its value and what the future might hold for this cryptocurrency. Vocabulary: blockchain, cryptocurrency, ledger, verification. What is the underlying technology that makes Bitcoin tick, and how does it actually work? At its core, Bitcoin relies on a public ledger called the blockchain, which is essentially a record book that stores all Bitcoin transactions. Think of it like a digital accounting book, where each page is called a block, and each block contains a list of transactions that have taken place on the network. Here's the surprising part. This blockchain isn't maintained by a single company or government, but rather by a network of volunteers around the world who work together to validate and record transactions. This network is decentralized, meaning that there's no central authority controlling it. It's maintained by people from all over the globe, using their computers to solve complex mathematical problems and validate transactions. This decentralized approach is what gives Bitcoin its security and transparency, as all transactions are recorded publicly and can't be altered or deleted. And here's the key point. This blockchain is the foundation upon which Bitcoin is built, and understanding how it works is crucial to grasping the inner mechanics of Bitcoin. By understanding the blockchain, you'll start to see how Bitcoin's entire system is designed to be secure, transparent, and community-driven. So, let's dive deeper into this concept and explore how it all comes together. Vocabulary: blockchain, decentralization, transparency, ledger. What happens when a new transaction is made on the Bitcoin network, and how does it get added to the blockchain? The answer lies in a process called mining, which is essentially a verification process that ensures the integrity of the blockchain. Think of it like a digital ledger where transactions are recorded, and miners are the accountants who verify these transactions and add them to the ledger. But here's the surprising part. Miners don't just verify transactions, they also compete to solve complex mathematical puzzles that require massive computational power. And the first miner to solve the puzzle gets to add a new block of transactions to the blockchain. And as a reward, they receive brand new Bitcoins. This process is called mining because it's like digging for digital gold, except instead of using a pickaxe, miners use powerful computers to solve these complex puzzles. The puzzles are designed to be so difficult that they require a huge amount of computational power to solve, which is why miners often join together in pools to share resources and increase their chances of solving the puzzle. And here's the key part. The reward for solving these puzzles is what incentivizes miners to continue verifying transactions and adding new blocks to the blockchain, which in turn keeps the Bitcoin network secure and trustworthy. So, in essence, mining is the backbone of the Bitcoin network, and it's what allows the network to function without a central authority. Vocabulary: blockchain, miners, puzzles, computational. How does Bitcoin stay secure when no single entity controls it? The answer lies in its decentralized nature and a fascinating process called consensus. Imagine a group of friends playing a game where they all need to agree on the rules. Instead of one person being the referee, everyone has a say. This is how Bitcoin operates, through a collective agreement among its users. When someone wants to make a transaction, like sending Bitcoin to a friend, that transaction is broadcasted to the entire network. Instead of one central authority verifying it, thousands of computers, known as nodes, around the world independently check the transaction. They each keep a copy of the entire transaction history, like having a shared notebook where everyone writes down what happens in the game. Now, here's the surprising part. For a transaction to be accepted, the majority of these nodes must agree that it's valid. This is called reaching consensus. It's similar to how a vote works. If most of your friends agree on the rules, those rules stick. Because of this decentralized agreement, it's almost impossible for anyone to cheat the system. Even more, Bitcoin transactions are secured using cryptography, which is like creating an unbreakable code. Each transaction is linked to the previous one, forming a chain that is nearly impossible to alter without the consensus of the whole network. It's as if every time someone tries to change a rule in the game, everyone else has to sign off on it, and they won't because they can see the original rules written down. So, through this decentralized consensus and robust security measures, Bitcoin remains a secure and trustworthy digital currency. Understanding this mechanism reveals how Bitcoin operates outside traditional control, creating a resilient financial system. Want to learn more about the magic behind Bitcoin? Make sure to subscribe. What happens when the demand for Bitcoins exceeds the available supply? And how does this impact the price of Bitcoin? To understand this, let's first look at how new Bitcoins are introduced into the system. Bitcoins are mined through a process that involves solving complex mathematical problems. And as a reward for solving these problems, miners are given a certain number of new Bitcoins. This process is designed to slow down over time, with the total supply of Bitcoins capped at 21 million. Now, here's the part most people don't know. The rate at which new Bitcoins are introduced into the system is actually decreasing over time, due to a process called halving, which occurs every 4 years. This reduction in supply, combined with varying demand, is what drives the price of Bitcoin up and down. Think of it like a rare collectible. If there are only a limited number of items available and lots of people want them, the price tends to go up. And here's the surprising part. The way transactions are processed on the Bitcoin network also plays a role in determining the price. Transactions are processed in batches, called blocks, and the fee that users pay to have their transactions included in a block can fluctuate based on demand. So when demand is high, transaction fees tend to increase, which can actually help to drive up the price of Bitcoin. Understanding how these mechanisms work can help demystify the often volatile price movements of Bitcoin. By grasping the basics of supply and demand, as well as the unique characteristics of the Bitcoin network, you'll be better equipped to make sense of the Bitcoin market. Want to learn more about how Bitcoin works and stay up to date on the latest developments? Vocabulary: blockchain, cryptocurrency, decentralization, mining. So, what makes Bitcoin tick, and how does it actually work once you strip away the hype and speculation? It all comes down to the intricate dance between miners, nodes, and users, each playing their part in a decentralized system that's designed to be secure, transparent, and censorship-resistant. And here's the surprising part. Bitcoin's value isn't just based on what people are willing to pay for it, but on the underlying mechanics of the network itself. The way transactions are verified, the way new Bitcoins are mined, and the way the entire system is maintained by a network of dedicated users and miners. It's a complex system, but one that's surprisingly resilient and adaptable, and understanding how it works can give you a whole new appreciation for the potential of cryptocurrencies. Now that we've peeled back the layers and taken a closer look at the inner workings of Bitcoin, it's clear that its value is rooted in more than just speculation. It's rooted in the very fabric of the system itself. If you're interested in learning more about the markets, cryptocurrencies, and how they actually work, consider subscribing to our channel for more in-depth explanations and insights into the world of finance and technology. Vocabulary: blockchain, decentralization, cryptocurrency, mining.